Hey, what's happening? Welcome to Skull Session, episode
Yeah,
5. I'm Mike Hussey, and I'm with my boy,
Rich Tierney.
and we are
Live from
and we are
Minneapolis.
live in Minneapolis from the Leering Center,
Leering
in
Center.
Somalia,
Yeah.
in Minnesota.
Since
Oh my
nobody
God.
was using the daycare center, we
We're
rented
gonna
it
give
out
a
to do
shout
today's
out
skull
to
session.
our first shout out is to the investigative reporter Nick Shirley.
Yes.
Who was just a young guy, and his cameraman who found, I mean, in one day he found $110 million worth of fraud
Yeah.
without even really going crazy, you know.
Right.
And he went to a place, like we said, it was called the instead of Learning Center, they had it spelled wrong. It said Leering
On the
Center.
outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other one said 90 kids were going there a day. Another place said they were feeding 6,000 people a week.
hmm
And nobody got shit.
Yeah.
I
No
don't know.
kids,
No
toys,
kids.
staff.
Nobody got anything. Right.
It
Right.
got like $2 million just in 2025, 4 million total. They just like leased out a building that they
Right.
probably owned anyway. And freaking the daycare center.
Right. Right. I mean, I don't, either we're very honest or just too stupid to think of shit like that. I mean,
Well, everybody turning a
skull
blind eye.
session day cancer.
Right. Skull
You know?
Session Daycare Center.
But you know what the crazy thing is, bro? It's like everything. It's greed. You know what I mean? So you open it up for 2 months, you get $10 million, shut the
Right.
thing down, and boogie. You know what I mean? Just boogie and
No,
take
well,
it.
you know what happens is like the huge Somali population that's there, because like let's not ignore the fact that all these things were started by some people that came from Somalia in
Right.
Minneapolis, right?
Right.
I'm
Exactly.
sure there's other people involved, but they come from a country that has nothing, where you got to like hustle just to get like a stale piece of bread.
Right.
So they come here and they're like, man, these fucking Americans are stupid. Like if
Yes.
we just do A, B, and C and play the card, like we can rake in. They said that the fucking money that got ripped off there is more than the gross domestic product of Somalia, which
Of
is what they
course.
ripped off
Of course.
freaking Somalia in.
Of
Yeah.
course. I mean, I mean, I could see why you want to leave there, obviously,
Yeah, for sure. Right.
but, you know, and
Yeah.
like everything else, not all of them are bad. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, I think people just get caught up. I mean,
right,
but
right.
like,
I
let's
mean,
be
you know what?
realistic. There were a lot
If
of
you
bad
got
people.
nothing, I mean, imagine you come here, you got a wife and 3 kids, and you got nothing, right? You got nowhere to work, and the guy goes,
Yes.
"Listen, I got something you could do. I'm going to open this daycare center. It's really not happening. I'll
Right.
pay you." You know, he probably got $100 a day. This guy,
Yeah,
you
all
know,
the people working in there, they probably weren't making shit, but they didn't have to do nothing. There's no
right?
toys to clean up.
There's
There's
nothing.
nobody there.
Nobody
No
cared.
asses to wipe,
Right, right. There's
you know?
nobody. I mean,
Right.
most of them had like brown paper over the windows. Like
Yeah.
nothing even happened. I mean, that kid Nick Shirley, I don't know how many he went to, and they didn't even exist. You know
No.
what I mean? I
I mean,
mean,
yeah, and what kills me the most is the no matter what side you're on, the whole division um of the country, like people just turn a blind eye just because somebody that isn't in your political party or whatever says something. You know what
right,
I mean?
right,
Like, it's like, oh no, this is what's happening there, and then they're like, oh no, it can't be true. That isn't
right,
true. Meanwhile,
right.
everybody's onto it. They all know, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it takes a kid like this just going out and doing what reporters used to do, regardless of political
Right.
affiliation,
Just going to
and say
find the
we're
truth.
getting ripped off. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
just the truth,
crazy.
which is
You know,
what
and
which is what reporting used to be about. Is just
yes,
truth
no,
and the
now it's
American
not.
way. Now it's
It's. I mean,
I
even
mean,
Fox, like, like sometimes I watch stuff on Fox, sometimes I don't. It's kind of regurgitating the same stuff, but like they didn't do shit. They didn't
right.
send
I mean,
somebody out there. They
it's
just
already
talked about. They
right.
just stirred the pot on fucking TV.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you hear about Somalia? And next, how about them
Yeah.
Yankees?
Yeah, they
You know what
drag
I
it in.
mean?
Tim Walz must have known about this shit, which he may or may not have. He probably
Right,
did. If you got a big fucking pile of cashola, the people at the top or the people in charge want to feed off that shit too.
right,
They
no
did
doubt.
not know.
That's what I mean. Somebody,
It's
like we
one,
said earlier, somebody got a really big check and said, "Look the other
yes,
way" for a year,
one for you, two for me, guy.
and
You
then,
know,
and then you know, and then that person who's probably high up in the government, they already know who was taking the rap for it,
I
and
know,
and they weren't going
not
down.
them.
Not
There's a
them, right?
couple people that they already supposedly charge, but there's way more people, and the bullshit thing is like you know, people in charge now, which I mean, like I agree with a lot of the stuff, but you didn't do anything. Now all of a sudden there's some FBI task force headed to Minneapolis because Nick Shirley, the fucking 20
Yeah, the
something
young
year old
kid.
kid, went out and exposed it. Why weren't you there to begin with?
Right, right. Like 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago when it got exposed. Like, all right,
Yeah.
maybe we should send some people there. Meanwhile, that
Right.
money's gone. You know what I mean? It didn't go back to Somalia, that's for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no skyscrapers being built in Somalia because of this money that people stole.
Oh, I know, and
Uh,
it's crazy. Somebody all in these programs that get raped and pillaged always have like cool names so people buy into it. Like the Feeding Our Future,
right, right,
fund,
right,
250 million. It's gonna feed kids and autism and childcare and everything else during COVID.
right, right.
Actually it's not gonna do any of that. Like
No, no.
we just told you that. And we're
Like
gonna yeah.
like remember there was a Seinfeld years ago where George just created a fake he created
Yes.
a fake thing called the Human Fund. And he
Right,
goes, "Yeah, I
right.
gave I gave $50 for you for the Human Fund." And they, "Oh
And
man,
they
thanks, dude."
that's a great fun. And they get all
Yeah,
these people to all the, people that live there are paying a lot of it, even though someone's special money, and they get them to all buy into it.
right,
Meanwhile, they're
right.
sitting on the sidelines and then they're just like,
Yeah, right, right. Exactly,
we're
exactly.
too stupid to do shit like that. I mean,
Right,
A, I don't
or
want to
too
go to
honest,
jail,
bro. That's what I mean.
but
It's
the Hasidics have been doing that in New York for years,
well,
in New
I
York
mean,
State.
they just have their own community, and
Right.
nobody fucks with them. You know what I mean?
I know.
And
Then you could say you're being,
I mean,
you
they have
know,
their own police department, like in Brooklyn and stuff like that. They
right.
have police cars that I don't know. It's wild.
Crazy
It's
stuff.
wild.
But anyway, there's no way you can't start the week or our week and it's, leading into New Year's without talking about that. Like
Yeah,
so
exactly.
but yeah, if
But
anybody hasn't watched it, it's unbiased, right? The kids just going there and asking questions and nobody's
right,
got an answer. And meanwhile he's
right.
there, like there's video, there's nobody there. And
Yeah.
would you want to send your freaking kid to a learning center where learning was spelled wrong?
Learning spelled wrong. I
Yeah.
know. Leering,
So,
the Leering
yeah,
Center. It's fucking.
freaking unbelievable, man.
It's unbelievable. I mean, it's just amazing that the amount of money that got pumped into this stuff by the government.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Right.
nobody said, why are we sending $50 million to a learning center or a Leering Center in Minnesota that said, and then there was one where it was like this little town of 500 people, like in some, you know, the hills of Minnesota somewhere, said they were feeding 5,000 people a week. There's
Yeah.
500 people in the town. Nobody thought, maybe we should look at the census
Well,
on
they
this thing and see how many people actually live in this place.
they try and talk people into, vast majority of people just want to do the right thing. So they talk them into like, oh, you're helping, and these people came from this
Right, of
shit
course.
country, and people want to be like, oh, okay. But meanwhile, they're now taking advantage of you. And once they
Right,
get the the people behind them. And then if you speak out against it, you're automatically like
Right,
against Somalis. I'm not
right.
against Somalis. I'm
Once they
against
get
people ripping me off.
just
You know?
instead of like the mob. I want you to do me a favor, but you know, in a little while, you're going to owe me a favor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it's like
Oh
you just
yeah. And the people in charge are the ones you're owing a favor to because they ain't letting shit happen without getting a piece. You
right,
know,
exactly.
maybe you're selling a couple counterfeit watches on the corner, you get away from with that. But when it's $1 billion going in now with different schemes, if you follow the
Yeah,
money,
yeah.
somebody's
Oh
getting it.
yeah,
And
yeah.
if you think otherwise, you're the reason why this shit happens to begin with, you
And
know?
it still goes on here, like in New York. With I mean, they're not. I don't think they're Somalian dudes. I think they're from Senegal, but they set up the blankets with all the fake Gucci shit.
Yeah.
And then they got the lookouts, and then somebody whistles, and boom, the blankets are gone. These guys are running down the street, and I know it's all the
Yeah.
tourists, buying fake Gucci's or whatever the
Yeah,
hell
all
it is.
made
I
in
just don't
China, like the
understand all that
Chinese
bullshit. Five
knockoffs.
thousand dollar, yeah, $5,000 handbags. But
Well, that's
yeah,
why I
I
got
don't know.
you you got the companies put out this stuff like pocket hose and all, and they're like, buy the original one on Amazon. And I'm like, it's made in fucking China too. And the
Right,
reason why there's a zillion hoses there because it's all in the same factory. And you
right,
decided to make your shit in China because it was cheaper, and they just stole your design in the same factory. They're just making counterfeits. So
right,
it's your
right,
fault.
right.
Like, don't tell me to buy one. Maybe if you would have made it here or somewhere else, you'd have more control over your design
And
and
it's
patent.
amazing. I mean, I was watching this thing with this like they had like the three Rolexes, and
Yeah.
the guy couldn't tell until he took the back off one of the Rolexes if it was fake or not. You know what I mean? I'm sure
Right.
the diamonds. It wasn't one of those diamond encrusted, $200,000 Rolexes. It was like the Daytona model, which is like the whatever, the one that most people wear. But
Yeah.
I mean, that's how good these knockoffs are, and you get them for $50 on Canal Street. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
But
I had a neighbor, years back before we moved to Texas, and he had immigrated from China, was an engineer and all, and worked in like these aluminum extrusion factories, and used to go back to China, help set shit up. And he was saying over there, like even like Nike, like they don't own, like nobody that builds shit there owns the plant. It's owned by like the government, and they just lease space, or they say, look, I need you to make Air Jordans
right,
and here's the design. But in the same factory, there's other shoe companies.
of
And then
course,
there's
yeah, yeah,
also like, well, yeah, we like that shit. We're just making it ourselves.
right,
It just
right,
depends
right,
how good the
right.
deal is. They're probably not fucking with Nike too much because you're talking a lot of money, that they could move
Right,
out of
but
the
still,
country.
it's
But
the same. It's just all the same game. You know what I mean?
it's all the same game. It's one big,
Yeah,
it's not like the Nike factory. It's the Jingzhou
right,
factory,
right,
and they're
right,
making Nikes there. Yeah.
right. And I've
But
read that book. That story is wild. How he went over there and be like, yeah, he's smart kid, smart guy.
yeah.
But Christmas
So
is
how was
over.
Christmas, man?
It was
How
good,
was it?
bro. It was
Yeah,
good. Went to my daughter's for Christmas Eve, which was nice. There's having the new babies. Well, you know the deal. It's the baby is everything. You know what I mean? And he's
yeah.
such a great little
Buying
kid.
presents and they don't even
No
can't
idea,
even
right? It could be
open it. Yeah, I have no
Halloween.
idea.
No
Oh, you
idea,
didn't get the
right?
baby anything? I don't know.
Yeah.
Can't even hold their bottle yet.
I mean, I bought him something that he's not even going to realize he's going to have to be able to walk to use it.
Yeah,
But whatever. I mean, it's
right.
your grandson, so. But it's just, and yeah, it's just amazing, like all the stuff that leads up to Christmas, and then boom, it's over. And then
Right.
it's like it never happened, and it just becomes such. I mean, I don't let it. Thank God for online because I don't let it stress me out anymore. I mean, here's a gift card, here's whatever, and I'm good. I don't do the whole shopping
Yeah.
and I mean, I did. I went out and bought stuff, but still, it's. I mean, now I live in Manhattan. It's pretty easy to go to the stores, but like I was saying, dude, we went into like, I forget what store it was, but you'd think, the security guard there, I thought he was holding, he was dressed like a Navy SEAL, this kid. They got the
Right.
big, everybody's dressed in black, the big tactical security thing on. He didn't have like of course he didn't have a weapon, but he looked like in his back pocket, what do they call them? Slapjacks? You know them
Yeah,
slapjack things, those leather things? Yeah.
yeah.
I'm
They
like,
had one of those in New
I,
York?
yeah, yeah. Well, he looked like
Okay.
he had one in his pocket. You know what I mean? So, but they were letting people in. I mean, meanwhile, it's like TJ Maxx. You know what I mean? You're not walking into Saks Fifth Avenue, and the guy's lifting like the golden rope, so you can walk in there two at a time and stuff. But it was just,
Yeah,
it was just the. I met my son on 48th and Fifth. Right 2 days before Christmas, outside Lululemon. Bro, it was so scared. It was so crowded. It was scary. You know what I mean? There's
yeah.
so many people. You had to walk single file. It just, it, I don't know how like we know about how nothing has happened there. And I talked about we talked about last episode with the cops. I talked about that, right? With the
Yes.
cops and the bikes. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's bro. Did I
The
tell you about the my daughter, Danielle, had given Elise and I a $200 gift card to this restaurant, Hillstone, down the street. And
Yeah,
we couldn't get in there. You couldn't get in there. 3 months, 4 months, the reservations. And then Elise found out that from some like YouTuber, you got to go in at midnight on like a Wednesday. Anyway, make a long story short, we got a restaurant, we got a reservation December 19th. So we go in there, and now like we got a 200. The place is expensive as shit, but we got a $200 gift card. Two appetizers, at least got like a prosecco and a glass of wine. We got dessert, ba ba ba. So we hand the we hand the chick the gift card. She goes, "Well, you need the PIN number." We didn't have a PIN number, no PIN number. So I mean, it's I'm not gonna start calling my daughter and say, "Hey, you have a PIN number from a thing from a year and a half ago that you gave us."
right.
But anyway, the manager came over, this little woman, and she was just like, whatever. I mean, Troy, you're not going to make a big deal about it. I didn't want to become that guy, so I just paid for it. But if it was we knew we had $200 in the pit, and we had to pay for it. There was no prosecco, and you know what I mean, two desserts and all this other shit. But it
Yeah.
was good. Hillstone, we got to go there when you come here. It's right down the block.
Yeah,
When
I
you know
can't
you're
believe
coming next time. I'll call. I'll get a reservation a month ahead of time, so we know.
is it
But
still crowded there in the city? Now with
dude, it's
all the
always crowded here. Always. I mean, it's not around where we live because we're like, 26th and 3rd. But Times Square, like, you couldn't pay me to go there. It's
especially now with
insane.
Christmas, New Year's Eve
Oh
coming up.
yeah. 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 That's why you would do that.
I
I mean, I
never did it
guess
even when I lived there, even when I was
we
younger,
we did it
never.
when we were like 18, and you couldn't get close, and it was
Yeah, but
just
at
it's
least then you could go in a bar, and you
right.
could
That's what
go
we
back
did.
in and
That's what
out
we
and go
did. You
piss in a
stuck your
bar.
head
Now you
out.
just can't get out of line.
Right. And once you get in those little whatever those stanchions,
Yeah,
they pile you in there, you can't leave. Like if you leave and say, "Hey, listen, I got to go use the bathroom," you're done. So what do you do? People are there from 5 in the morning. What are you doing? Wearing a
I don't know.
fucking
Wearing a Joe McCluskey diaper.
a diaper? You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah,
like I just and then I don't know. I don't know how people do it, and there's millions of them doing it. So seeing that
I don't know,
Ryan
man. That's coming
Seacrest is
up.
in, yeah, yeah.
What's the
What are you
weather
guys doing?
supposed to be like?
It's supposed to
Weather.
suck.
Uh,
It's supposed to suck. It's going to be freezing.
yeah.
Yes. What are you guys doing?
They got a New Year's Eve thing going on here.
Oh, maybe
It's
it'll have
been
like the same thing as with the what was it the other one with Halloween? What was it? What was the
no,
one where everybody had
the
the
hollow crawl.
yeah, there you go.
No way. I mean, maybe, but I doubt it.
They're gonna have a new. Yeah, there's got to be something, dude. Come on, come
Yeah.
on,
I
bro.
mean,
And I was.
it
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, I'm saying that was just like the broader neighborhood, and people just going freaking totally insane, driving around
Well,
in golf carts drinking.
and
This is gonna be up at the clubhouse.
this is also the time of the year when gyms get crowded because of all the resolutioners. you know,
They do. They
till like
do.
February 1st, and
I,
then it just.
dies out by, like, March or
Yeah, oh
February
yeah,
or something like that.
faster than that. Faster than that. Yeah, I've been going. Yeah, I feel good. Yeah, it's a good thing. Um, yeah,
But
but you know,
you gotta stay in the game. You know, like, you know the deal, you got some times where you do it more than others.
right,
Obviously,
right.
shit goes on, and especially if you're younger, or, like, if you look back from the time you're 21 to the time you're 60, obviously, you can say you are gonna go, like, hard, like David Goggins style for
Yeah.
40 years. You're freaking not gonna do that. It's
No, no,
impossible.
especially, when he did what we did for a
Kids,
living. I mean,
yeah,
and
working in
right.
construction,
And yeah, yeah.
you know,
6 a.m. start, humping
out in
pipe
the
all day.
freaking cold,
Let me,
freezing.
yeah, yeah. Or in the
Yeah,
summer was worse than the winter, dude, I think.
I hated the winter, man. I could have
Yeah, I
taken the
did.
summer.
Yeah, I hated it. The summer was just brutal too.
I
But it was,
I was
eh,
I was thinking the other day because, now's the time when there's Christmas parties. Well, and me and my son Dylan, if Anthony's around too, we'll watch that Office Christmas Party movie.
how great is that?
It's fucking the funniest
Isn't that the
that
best? When the
yes.
blow
I
goes into the fan.
Yes, I thought well, even funnier, and I said to Dylan, next year we gotta count you know how they hired in the people for a nativity scene?
Right,
They
right,
at the
right,
party, remember? And
right.
so Jason Bateman says to, the guy who's the owner, I forget what his name is, with the curly hair. The guy that's he says, "You hired a live baby?" And, because they had, like, Jesus people dressed as Jesus, Mary. He goes, "You hired a live baby?" And he goes, "Oh, yeah, it's not as expensive as you think." But they had in there, like,
Oh, that
cows, and people
yeah,
dressed as a sheep. If you watch the show, the fucking sheep shows up in all these different scenes. Like,
oh,
they'll be
really?
piling in the elevator, and right in the back is the sheep, or, like, on the dance floor, and there's the sheep. Then there's one scene where they're, like, having, like, an orgy in one of the bathroom stalls,
Yeah,
and the
yeah, yeah.
guy the dude that's kinda, like, got the balding head, and he wants to at the end, he's gonna pick up the HR lady.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Well, he's marching around in his underwear, hammered. He opens the door to the stall, and he's like, "Ooh, lamb shawarma. Yes." And he jumps in and closes it, and there's the person in the sheep costume, or
What was that? What was that called? Christmas? What was
Chris
that? What was
office Christmas party.
Christmas office? Oh, office Christmas party. Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh my God. That was yes. That
The
yeah,
best
Jennifer
Christmas
Aniston
movie.
was in it.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah, there were a lot. Olivia Munn. Yeah, a lot of.
right. But next year, I wanna count, um, make a note of every time the sheep shows up. It's just somebody in a sheep outfit, you know?
That's
And
great.
they just
That is
pop up,
great.
like, in the they're when they're dancing on the stage, and it's like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
HR,
yeah.
HR, and they're all of a sudden they pan the crowd, and there's the person, I don't even know if it's a chick or a dude, in the sheep outfit, you know?
And
Yeah,
when the guy swings on the oh my God, when he
on the
swings on the
lights.
lights, don't do
Yeah,
that, don't do that.
right. Oh, I love it, man. But I was laughing once I was watching, over the years, like, all the different Christmas parties, right? Like, now being in a company, they would have it in an office, or go to some of the places when we worked in construction. Like, maybe if you were at a company, they'd be like, "Oh, we're gonna get together and have a party at this place." I remember some dude, like, flicking meatballs at the owner of the electrical contractor, like, he just hated being there,
Yeah, I would do that.
you
You
know?
know who had a big one? Was Simpson. They had
Yeah.
a huge Christmas party, and there was a fight. And oh yeah, some guy came with his wife, and that was really bad. It was just, it's a recipe for disaster.
It
Especially,
is.
it's just 200 guys that shouldn't be together, and then put in drinking and whatever else you were doing that night, and it just turned into a shit show.
Well, even worse was they try to do something nice, I guess, on the job site. Like, remember
Yeah,
at the
and
plant
somebody, right, somebody
where
always
they
screwed us
brought
up.
in like one 6-foot hero and
Right,
those fucking labor dudes are going up and he's filling like his whole plate. And you went up and you're like, guy, there's a
right,
whole line of people behind. There isn't
right.
another sandwich here, you
Right.
know?
You don't have to, you don't need four, and it's always the fat bastards that,
Right.
like, dude, take a piece, walk away.
And
You don't
move
need four
on.
pieces. You're right,
Right.
right.
There's one 6-foot hero. There's 200 people here or
And
whatever
then,
there was.
yeah, and they did that a couple times at the plant too. They brought in like
Yeah.
thank the worker things, and somebody's always complaining. It's like, bro, they don't have to do anything. What are you
I,
complaining about? Oh, I can't believe they don't have Sprite. Like,
yeah, I know.
what?
They're going to pay for this. I'm
Yeah,
going to go in one of the porta johns and smear shit all over the wall
yeah,
now. You know,
yeah,
like, oh,
yeah,
gee,
yeah,
you
yeah,
really helped
yeah,
them.
yeah.
Those people
Yeah,
are not going in there. You just screwed it for everybody else, you
right,
know?
right, exactly, exactly. Yeah, and I remember when the Germans took over at the plant.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was
Way
great.
different.
And
Uh,
they why is everybody standing around? The guy's like, oh, it's coffee break. 200 men having coffee
yeah.
at the
Welcome, my
same
friend.
time. How long
Yeah.
does this last for? Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
40 minutes.
D-
Then
Depends
it's
if it's
lunch.
Friday or not. I,
Yeah.
when I was in Texas, the one company I worked for, they actually did the right thing and they put on this party every year just for the people that work there, and they were all field people, so they're out of control. So before they got an HR person, and I only went at two parties, they had it at this freaking dive bar, like in Dallas. Like if
Right.
you drove by it,
Cool.
you wouldn't even pull in there. But apparently somebody used to go in there
A
all the
Leering
time.
Center.
Yeah, it was a Leering Center, but it was out of control, bro. It started at like 11 in the morning. They went in, they had some people had a band in the that were in the company. They set their shit up. As soon as you walked in, it was like a biker bar. There was people wandering around with trays of Fireball at like
Nice.
11 AM. You want
Oh
a
my
shot?
God.
People were getting hammered, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Hammered.
And you know what it is too, bro? People like, I was a pro. Like, you're not going to start slamming Fireball at 11 in the morning, but it's the people that go, what? I'm going to have a couple of these, see what happens.
Well, people
Drug
weren't
with the
even yeah.
toe, with the arms over two guys being dragged out at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, just dumped in the
There
parking lot somewhere.
there was a girl there that worked in the office, a young girl. She gets there and like starts like pounding. And of course every guy there, wants to take her clothes off. She got
Yeah,
so hammered that like one of the owners like drove her home later. Like
yeah,
there was
because
hardly
it's
first there's hardly any women there. There's like a
right.
handful of women and they invited this was the best. It was almost like a Christmas office party when like uh people just showed up and didn't expect it to be like that. Like they invited people from this engineering firm. It was like two girls and a guy coming in like, oh my God. It was like 1 PM. The dude is singing, the band is singing. One of the guys jumps up and pushes the dude off the microphone and starts like singing like this AC/DC song, and a brawl almost starts out. These people had like one drink and they're like, "Yeah, we're out of here,
Yeah,
man.
we gotta go. Yeah,
Yeah, I can't believe we
yeah,
do work with you people." You
yeah.
know?
2 electrical engineers. Yeah.
Right.
You guys want to stop by? Come by about
Yeah.
1.
Stop by and have a
Well,
drink. Have a
unless you,
fireball at
yeah,
11 AM.
have a cocktail, have a
A couple
BLT and a
fireballs
fireball.
of
Have
torch
some
of
liverwurst.
taco. Yeah, we got tacos and fireball and whatever else you want.
What
But
was
anyway,
the
I
other
was
thing we
just
were talked about? That who's that guy? Oh, Albert Brown.
Yeah, I was, we talked about stupid shit and people ripping everything off, but I we forget, like, there's a lot of people out here in this country that actually did, like, the right thing, and, so and you read the article too. So
Right,
I'm going through and I'm like, "Oh, wow, this guy," I forget what year he died, but was lived to be 105 years old. But anyway, with the back in World War II, I mean, if people aren't familiar, you know how the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, and right after that, they invaded like the Philippines, and we had troops there with Filipino troops. You couldn't like get help there,
right,
like it was isolated. So eventually, the Americans and they surrendered, had no choice. So the Japanese marched them like 65 miles, won't let them drink any water, no food, beheading people with samurai swords, the whole
right.
nine. So this dude, Albert Brown, was there. He was 36 years old at the time. He was a
And he was a
freaking
dentist,
dentist
right?
from Iowa. Yeah, went to dental school in the 20s, was married, doing his thing. He joined the reserve, like, I guess, figured nothing would happen or whatever. Eventually, he gets called up in like 1941. He goes there and lives through this shit. He was like
Right.
wondering why he was the only person, all these younger people were like dying,
And didn't they
and
even yeah, after didn't they give him, like they didn't say he was gonna live to I read something, like, you're not gonna make it to 40 or something because of
yeah, right. He
all
lived to
the
be 105.
because he
Yeah,
weighed, like,
100
86 pounds or
pounds.
something, right?
His
Yeah,
back was
something insane.
broken,
Yeah,
all this crazy shit. 100 pounds, had malaria, dysentery. Um, he wound up said the thing that kept him squared away the whole time was he kept his mind busy. So he didn't like think about it. He found a little piece of pencil lead in a pocket and he would take notes about all of this, on like canvas or on different stuff like a canvas bag. So he
right,
had
right.
notes about all this stuff. Then he spent 3 years in a POW camp, you
Another
know.
n yeah, another
Yeah.
nightmare.
Um they
And like you
said
said, dude go ahead, I'm sorry.
no, they said that these guards in that POW camp threw him down the stairs. It broke his back, and then they hit him on the back of the head with a rifle and fractured his freaking neck. All while he was still a POW. Yeah,
Right, right. I mean, and
yeah.
there's no first aid, you know what I mean?
No, there's
You're not
nobody.
being sent
They
to
were
you're not
hoping
being
you were
sent
gonna
to the
die.
infirmary. Right, you're hoping you're gonna yeah, oh
Yeah.
Christ.
He'd spent 2 years recovering in a hospital, and, yeah, they said he wouldn't live to be 50. He couldn't go back to being a dentist. He got into real estate in LA, actually. And on an article, he said he became friends with Roy Rogers, John Wayne. He actually knew, or Buffalo Bill Cody was his grandfather, was his godfather. Back
Wow.
in the day. Yeah,
That's pretty cool. Well, what
yeah,
year was he born, the guy? 1905, you said?
1905. Yeah, yep,
Yeah.
yep,
I remember asking my grandmother when I was a kid, like, what year were you born?" "Oh, 1890." I was like, "What? How is
right,
that even possible?" You know what I mean?
yeah,
But, she lived a long one too. Nanny, yeah, Jesus.
yeah.
But,
Crazy
yeah.
stories. But if anybody hasn't heard that story or doesn't know
Yeah,
about it,
read
just
about I mean, like you
do a
said, dude,
Google search, or I'll put a link in the notes because
there's so many,
we compl-
of those cool stories with heroes in World War II, and even the guy Audie Murphy, bro. That guy, that kid, he
yeah.
just the shit he did. It was just, and the other John Basone, he was another one that decided to go back, and he got killed, and yeah,
Well, it's with all the
but
leading into that whole thing, like this time of year, people try and come what they're going to do different, New Year's resolutions, and always come up with, oh, I can't do that. In the back of their mind, they're saying, I can't do that. But then you read stories about guys like that. Well, I mean, he
right,
could easily
right,
just came home and wasted away to nothing. I mean, there was
right,
nothing
right.
physically really left of him. but he
I
wound up
guess he couldn't
killing it.
he couldn't be a dentist anymore because of just everything that happened to him.
Physical, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Broken neck,
imagine how
broken
his the
back.
guy's back and neck healed. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Talk
mean, it
about
back in the hospital in those days, they said he spent 2 years in an army hospital, which
yeah,
it's an
probably some
army hospital, and
traction.
it's in the 40s, the late
Right.
40s, right?
Right.
Mid, late 40s. So what are they doing for you, you know?
Yeah. Loading you up with
So,
morphine and just hoping you make it to the next day.
yeah, I mean, but, the guy wound up pulling through and did his thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you gotta
That was why I was glad you sent that to me because I actually had read about it. I was like, this guy is wild,
right,
you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
I,
I don't know.
there seemed to be a lot of interest in liverwurst and deli meats after the last,
Dude, you know what I thought about? I
episode.
thought about some more lost deli meats. Spiced ham.
Right,
Remember spiced ham?
yeah,
Can't get it anymore. No more. Remember
I know.
chicken roll and turkey roll, which was just like the ground up
Right,
fucking
olive
claws
loaf.
and beaks. Olive, yeah, olive loaf. My dad was a big olive loaf guy.
I
They
don't know,
just
we
don't
need
make it,
everybody to put in the comments for this episode a deli meat that they haven't seen in a while, and maybe we'll do a
dude.
Nick
I heard
Shirley
I
episode
meant
where
to
we'll go in these Publix and ShopRite and
public
look for the
delis.
lost deli
We
meats.
got to get Nick
Nothing
Shirley on the
serious.
liverwurst. Nick
Right.
Shirley on the liverwurst dilemma,
Yeah.
dude. The other thing
What are you
I
looking,
heard, I read this
nothing,
morning
I'm
was a
like,
guy in Texas. The daughter was out walking the dog. Did you hear about this? The daughter was out
"No."
walking the dog, and whatever. So she's gone, and I guess the mom says, I don't remember the girl's name. Say, you know, how come Ashley didn't get back? So the dad smartly had her locator on his iPhone, and she was 3 miles away. So he jumps in his pickup, drives 3 miles, finds the girl, opens a door, to some freak there with his pants down. But he had called the cops at the same time, grabs his daughter out of the car, and then starts beating the hell out of the guy. But if there was, if the parent wasn't smart enough to have the locator on the phone, that was it. She was gone. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So a note to parents: when your
Yeah,
kid's not
don't
looking,
listen to
put
what
the
your kids
location
say,
thing
put
on the
keep the
phone. Yeah,
locator on there.
right,
I
exactly.
mean, I do that
You know,
shit with my running watch. I remember years back going out for a run, we were up camping somewhere and, like, didn't even have a phone, I mean, I had a phone, but I didn't take it with me because, it wasn't nothing but a phone. It wasn't like the new
right,
phones now,
right,
and I
right.
made a wrong turn and, like,
Gone.
was wound up instead of doing 20 miles, I did 30 miles. So it's out in the middle of nowhere, and I wound up running back. I get back, and they're like, everybody's like, "Where we at?" But now with the new Garmin watches and the phones, you got live track
What
you
did
can
you?
click on.
How'd you get back? What'd you
I
do?
ran. I was
I
training
know,
for a
but
marathon.
were you lost?
No, I wound up coming out on a street that I knew, and I was like, "Do
Oh,
I go into, like, the store and see if I can use their phone and just call and have somebody pick me up?" And I'm like, "Ah, no, fuck it, I'll run back." But I had ran out of
yeah.
water by then, and it was probably another 10 miles. So, but what I'm getting at, now all these location devices, all these phones, even with your Garmin, like if you fall, if you were to pass out or get hit by a car, like it'll contact 911. It's just safer, like
Yeah, right,
don't
right, exactly. And
yeah,
kids are probably against it. Why? I don't want my parents, especially a 16-year-old girl or whatever, boy or girl. I mean, it's good to know who
right.
your kid is at any time. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, 3 miles from
But
the house. So this guy, I don't know what happened to the dog, but at least he got his daughter back. For Christ's sake. Yeah, but
but New
find a guy
Year's
like in the middle of trying to. The daughter was fighting the guy off, and I guess he had his pants down or whatever, and the old man, oh God, imagine, dude, what the
He
beating
needed
you
one
would
of
give
those
somebody.
Japanese guys to come and behead him with a samurai sword
Right. But another
or
thing
hit him
you
with a
said about the
cane.
baton march that you said that I read too is like the Filipino people would try to feed,
Yeah,
throw
help.
fruit and stuff to the Americans. And
And they
if
were
the
killing
Japs,
them.
and they were killing those people. Yeah. Quick
Yeah.
samurai across the neck.
Yeah, or a
Yeah.
bullet
Insane.
between the eyes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So by the time this episode, well, we're recording now, but we're gearing up. It'll be New Year's 2026. So I don't know if I really got any New Year's resolution. I usually don't do that. I do want to do one thing, and you and I have talked about this, is to make the podcast better. Like I got the
Right.
MacBook now. Um, we're going to try and get some content out there. We got to make sure everybody out there like, follow, comment. The more you do
At
that,
least hit
the more
follow. I mean,
exposure.
it helps
Right,
us. It helps. It changes our algorithm to
right.
from like the last podcast in the country to maybe this eighth
Yeah, I
to
mean, we don't
last
make any
podcast in the country.
money on it, but
Oh no,
the
money,
whole
no,
point was to
Jesus.
interact with everybody out there, and I think you might find some of this stuff funny or relatable, or you say it's
Right, right.
stupid, but at least you know what it is all about. But that's the my big thing in 2026. I mean, we got we got off to a good
Yeah, well,
start.
like you said, and I was looking at that the other day, and it's how to pump it up even more. I mean, how much, you know, I don't know. I've even done it. Well, we'll talk about this on the side, but and also a shout out to two joint surf
Surf
company.
company, yes.
Yeah,
Mike and I both got
Rich,
shirts.
Richie had sent me a shirt, so I sent him one, and yeah, if you guys anybody never heard of it, and if you like stuff that has to do with skeletons and
and
surfing
and
and
weed
partying and weed and
that I
mushrooms
don't
and
do.
whatever,
I just
just
like the
check
shirts
out. Yeah, they're great
yeah,
shirts.
when I seen it, they were
Did I
from
get you a
Florida,
long sleeve or short sleeve?
long sleeve.
Yeah, yeah, good. Okay.
The first one I seen on there was like a skeleton, um, like hugging some chick in a bikini, you know,
Right.
and it's like Two Joint Surf Company. I'm like, two joints. I'm like, oh, they're talking about weed. And as Mike used to always say, once again, you're the only one here that doesn't smoke weed. Like on these job when we were back on the job. But I like the shirts.
Yeah,
There
no,
was
it's a
some
good, and
cool freaking shirts out
and
there.
they have cool hats. They got cool everything.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
check it
but
out
you're not a
out
hat.
there.
You're not
We're
really a
not
hat. You're not really a hat guy either.
Yeah, I do. When I don't, feel like doing my locks
Your
or I'm
locks.
going to the pool or something,
Yeah,
you
right,
know.
right, right. I mean, I got a
Yeah,
Yankee hat.
but
That's the only hat I've ever owned.
yeah, I
And I
mean,
just
but
happened
it
to
just
get it because I
depends
went
what
to a Yankee game.
yeah.
Yes, yeah.
So
New Year's. I don't know. I don't have any
2026.
resolutions. No
No,
resolutions, dude. Stay healthy.
but
Elise is doing really well,
healthy.
which is awesome. Yeah, my remember
Yeah.
I told you my brother was gonna get a dog, and I
Yeah.
think
I thought he did. I
it
had
was
it on the
no, he never
episode
got
as
it,
like
dude.
Meathead and the new dog. Now I'm gonna have to go
No, I
back and
think it
edit
was a
it.
scam because I think they wanted money,
Uh,
but anybody
you
could
only
have
got like the
put a
dog's
picture
left
up of a
nut.
golden retriever up, and so yeah, if you send us $500, so
500 bucks to
they
a
never
prince in
answered the phone
Nigeria,
after he
you'll
told
get
them
a
after yeah
Labrador.
from Somalia, Somalian puppy
Right.
company.
It's and puppy spelled without two P's.
Yeah, yeah,
P-U-P-I.
puppy,
A puppy
Pupi,
company.
Tupi.
You got 125 million and I don't see any dog bowls, any dog
I
beds,
50,000 dogs. I feed 50,000 dogs a week here in my Somalian puppy
dogs a
center.
week here. Right.
I'm
And
surprised nobody
and
thought
you
of that in
walk
New
in,
York.
yeah. You walk into the puppy center and they're playing that Sarah McLachlan song that makes everybody sad. And there's no
Yeah,
puppies there.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. Yeah, they're all gone.
But
Yeah.
anyway, bro, I think 2026 podcast is going to be better. Going to be more people get more a little more engaged. Follow. We're going to get some guests on. We just needed a revamp, and let us know what you want to hear. Golden
Right.
Skull Award is still
Exactly.
out there. I didn't even talk about it today because I'm not going to just pick something shitty. Like I need the people that are out and about every week or every 2 weeks when we're doing this show, and throw something in the comments about Golden Skull. We'll do a little digging on it. We'll get in there. We'll even do, now that we've got the new thing, we'll even do the whole okay, it's time for the Golden Skull Award.
Skull Award. I
So
think you know who should get it,
comment.
bro. Is Nick Shirley.
He should, but he did that on his own, right? I mean, we could put
Yeah.
it out this
Yeah.
week with Nick Shirley, but it's got to be something offbeat that
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
of the
Yeah. No, I
listeners
agree.
sees
Yeah.
or you
Yeah.
and I see. You
Or
know,
I mean, I wish they had a video of the dad beating that guy that caught his daughter. That would have been, he would have got it.
Mm.
But
I I
all they
went
ever
on
found.
I went on that
Good.
Google and then a Priority Pass app, and I gave the Maharaja Lounge 5 stars. People will probably be like,
Yeah.
"Who the
Why not?
fuck was this guy gave it 5 stars?" I'm like, it
Well,
was that good.
if you can't get into any other lounge, we welcome
Air
to Air
India,
India
welcome.
Maharaja Lounge.
Yeah, but we'll see everybody in the new year, and
In the new year,
we got to go
exactly.
like, follow, comment, like, follow, comment. I'm all up on the comments now. We're gonna answer you back if you just want to say "f you" or "I hate the Air India Lounge." Just put that in there. But we're in there looking at the comments, and you can find it on Spotify, Apple, YouTube.
Idea, but like
So
we said, bros, out of all of like your friends and my friends, oh yeah, I love you guys. All right, well, it's pretty simple. Hit follow. Because I was
yes,
talking to my sister-in-law at my sister's the other day, and she says, "Man, I love your podcast." And her and her daughter follow. So she goes, "You can't
right,
subscribe, Mike. You could just follow." I go, I get it. I know, but just hit follow." She goes, we did." So
good,
whatever,
yeah,
bro.
and
It's a
then
slow
that'll lead
process.
to
We're still plugging along. That's all that matters.
yeah. I mean,
You know, that's it.
maybe one day we'll have enough followers. We'll get some cool guests on, or I don't know.
Yeah, like
I
Elon
mean,
or
although,
Matthew McConaughey or
or
Brad
Nick
Pitt,
Shirley,
Nick
right?
Shirley.
Or the person
He
that
would do
thought up
his
the Somali daycare scam, you know,
yes.
just to
Probably a white
freaking
dude.
figure out how that went down. Right. Maybe. So with
You
that,
know,
Mike, why don't you take us home?
we want to say Happy New Year to everybody and later, skulls.
Skulls.